welcome to the Alexa Show. I am Alexa Servo-Didier, host, and I'm so excited for today's show. With us is Jamel Thomas. He's a former NBA player, coach, author, and fashion designer, and also one of the most beloved Alexa Show guests. Jamel, welcome back to the Alexa Show.
Thanks for having me back. Exciting times.
Yes, so excited, so excited. So tell us, what's been going on in your life as a fashion designer?
Well, we just been working on a few collaborations. I just did a collaboration with my alma mater, Providence College. That collection came out 2 months ago. We're going to be working with them the whole year. I have another collaboration that I'm doing with a big-time basketball magazine. So we're going to put that out hopefully this summer. I can't say the name, but we just been working, and we also put out another collection on my website, jamelny.com. So we're working over here.
Yes, and so many incredible, exciting things. Now, your logo is so powerful. What are the reactions that you're receiving from the different people that are watching and looking at your designs?
Well, people, they ask about the logo, and I tell them what it means. It's like, basically it's me helping myself as a young boy, and I had a lot of people that helped me become the man that I am today, and they just purchased the gear just because of the logo and the meaning behind it. So it's interesting, it's fun, and it's exciting. It's something new, and I'm glad people are liking to it.
Yes. How is it for you to hear all this feedback and knowing that this powerful logo is about you and it's so personal?
I mean, it's an honor. I just feel, really, blessed that I was able to come up with this logo, and people and the way they received it, and knowing that it's, myself 2 times on a logo, and people's actually wearing it, supporting and buying it. And when they, buy it for their sons, that have wives want to give it to their, buy it for their husbands and their sons. So it's a pretty big project.
Yes. So it sounds like your brand, your designs are a legacy for you, for your family, but also for other families that are giving your designs as gifts to their children, to their family members. It's the gift that keeps on giving with a very powerful meaning.
Yes. And that's what's important. It's about, telling the story, getting your message across, and that's how I'm getting it through clothes. I'm telling my story through clothes.
Yes. What type of designers have inspired you?
Well, I always liked Ralph Lauren, always liked Polo, always. I love FUBU when they were going, real strong back in the late 90s. I love the brand Mecca. I love Tommy Hilfiger. I mean, those are like more of the street designers that I used to love at the time. Everybody likes the Gucci's and the Armani's and stuff like that, but those are the brands that I was able to afford when I was younger.
Yes. So those type of brands really have that meaning for you, that really have those roots in who you are and where you come from, and also where you are now as a person.
Yes, of course. Ralph Lauren was the biggest thing in the urban, neighborhoods. That's what I remember. Everybody wearing Polo, Ralph Lauren, and then when FUBU came out, everybody started wearing that. So those are the 2 brands that stick to me the most.
Now, since we last spoke, you and your family have experienced so much through this pandemic. Could you please share with us what you've been going through and how you've really dealt with the loss that your family has been going through?
Well, most importantly, trying to stay busy as possible. With the loss, I have my family with me, my wife, my son, and my son was going through a lot with this whole pandemic, with the Zoom learning and stuff like that. So he was going through it. He wasn't connected with his friends, so that was kind of bothering him. So we had to figure out a schedule for him so he can be okay up here mentally. So I think what happened was, especially in September when he had to go back to school, the energy and shifted to my son. All the focus shifted over to my son to make sure his well-being was okay. And, you know, the times I do think about, you know, my mom a lot and my brother. I went to see a therapist, and, you know, my therapist just told me one thing. He said, just think about all the good times that you share with your, you know, with your mom and your brother. So, and that's what I do. I just think about all the good times.
Yes, yes. And so many people look up to you for your strength, for your triumph over your struggle and your success. What would you say to those that are watching that have really been having a hard time and feeling defeated and feeling maybe I'm not going to be able to follow my passion or my dream?
Well, you know, it's a saying that a lot of adults say, which is unfair, that nobody cares about your story. Nobody's like here to help you. I think that's not true, because with my experience and the experience with my other family members that, you know, that were athletes and that weren't athletes, we had teachers and people from the neighborhoods that were really there to help us, you know, get through whatever we were going through. And kids sometimes they get depressed or feel, you know, that they can't achieve something, but you always have that teacher or someone in that neighborhood to help you get out of that slump or that funk that you're in. And just, you know, with the kids, they just have to pay attention who's there to help them, and don't pay attention to who's there to take advantage of them. You know, it's a thin line, so you got to be careful with that.
Yes, yes, incredible. And I think you really bring up a great point that we also spoke about the last episode when you were here, is about really finding those people in your life, those significant figures, mentors, and they can be a teacher, someone at the grocery store, a coach, a neighbor, someone that really believes in you and gives you that chance is priceless.
Absolutely. Like, it's, you know, I mean, I know it's a rough time with all the police officers, or, you know, around the country, what's going on. But when I was growing up, and I'm from New York, we just didn't deal with that. We had police officers tell us, like, you know, we have our pants sagging down, and we have police officers say, "Hey, pick your pants, like pull your pants up, kid." You know, so it's a different time. You know, one thing about this time is good that a lot of kids are just home, but you know, just it can be anybody. You know, it still can be that police officer.
Yes.
That can be that mentor that could say something that help you change something inside your brain, or a fireman. You know, it could be a homeless person. It could be somebody, but it's just, you have to pay attention to it, and then something will click.
Yes, and I think being open to it. And I know that's hard
Right.
sometimes when you're going through a lot, when you've had a lot of loss and tragedy in your life. It's hard to be open to listening to someone or feeling that someone can be there really to support you or to give you assistance. But I feel those are the most important times to be open and allow the right people to come in and give you that support, that you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah. Well, I needed a lot of support, because my support system was taken from me by 4 years old. So I needed a lot, and I'm here now.
Yes. And I think that's what's so powerful about you and your brand, is that it really shows that you can have that support system taken away, but also your story of rebuilding and finding another support system and growing, but also giving back and being that voice for so many that don't feel like they have a voice.
Right. Well, I'll tell you something which is interesting. I'm not religious. My mom, she was a Baptist, and I have Jewish parents that raised me since I was 15. So I'm not a religious person, but I do train a lot of kids that are Muslim in the Harlem area, Harlem, New York. So right now I'm doing Ramadan with them. So I'm fasting during the day. You know, we'll take a Zoom call or a FaceTime call. We do like a prayer. You know, I'm doing it for them because it's about 10 of them. I didn't see them for the whole year. because of, we didn't have any gyms because of the, the virus.
Yes.
And I said, since I haven't seen you guys, I'll be closer with you guys during this time. And so that's what we've been doing this whole week so far. And I'm going to do it for the whole month.
And how is it for you being open to the different religions and to the different practices?
I mean, I didn't figure that out yet. I'm still learning, kind of investigating religions and seeing what kind of fits me and what just fits me, because, my son can feel a different way. He probably wants his own. My wife, she wants her own. So I'm just trying to figure out what's best for me.
Yes. And that's such an incredible message, because I think that's what's really the essential meaning of finding your religion, is being able to see what works for you. It doesn't have to be just one certain religion. It kind of can be different pieces and parts from all the different religions that you're exposed to. So I find that very empowering to be open to it and be able to hear and expose yourself to the different types of practices.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out one day, hopefully soon.
Yes. So what are some life lessons you've noticed and you've learned through this last year?
But this whole year was all about, you have to figure it out no matter what, unless you're going to fall flat on your face. That's just the life lesson. Figure it out. Just plain and simple. Like my son, he was trying to figure something out. Like he ran out of data on his laptop, and he wanted to get more space. And I just said, just figure it out. Like, I can't tell you, I can't show you. This is your job. Figure it out. So it took him 2 days, and he figured it out. I said, you don't need no help. I said, we're in a time right now, we have to figure everything out what we're going through. So that's the only life lesson that was given to me during this time, and trying to stay optimistic as possible, with the losses and everything that's going on in the country right now.
Yes. And I think, about what you said about trying to figure it out, I think in life in general, it's important to have that. But I think this pandemic has been like boot camp for everybody.
Right.
Because there wasn't really, if we didn't figure it out, different things, it just couldn't happen. But I think it's also maybe the light at the end of the tunnel is you be able to find things and figure them out. Like taping from home, figuring out new phones, figuring out how to entertain yourself and do things where usually you'd have those outside resources, and being able to leave the house in the beginning, and now really you can start to. But it's being able to really say, you have all that within you. The answer is within you, and you have the resources. So really being comfortable in your own skin, but also not being judgmental with yourself. How is that for you? Because I know we all can get like that, me including.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfectly said, just like that.
Thank you. So on the horizon, what can we all be looking for? Because my viewers and myself have been following you and are just really excited about your story, your journey, and your brand.
Well, we're trying to figure this whole clothing thing out. Our next goal is to try to get into stores. Hopefully like Macy's or, Jimmy Jazz or something like that. So that's what we're working on right now, for going back to school. So hopefully that, that will take off.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, again, I just wanted to thank you again for being on the show and everything, and all of your advice and your story and your inspiration.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you.
And everyone, thanks again for tuning in, and make sure you're always finding your peace within the chaos. Everyone, have a good night and God bless.